Welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay review. And something I struggle with in this game is understanding why Kindle gets so much hate. This character right here. And I was thinking, well, maybe it's because of that Jimmy Neutron hairstyle. I mean, that's pretty appalling, but I don't think that's it. I think the reason people don't like Kindle is that the people who don't like Kindle are filthy peasants, and they do not like the aristocracy. For you see, Kindle sits at the top of her ivory tower, sipping wine. She is the nobility, and she enjoys living in her cities. For you see, all of her units, even air units, gain 40% attack, while in urban terrain, that's any square that you can capture, an HQ, a base, an airport, a port, city, lab, or comm tower, all of those count as urban terrain, and all of those give Kindle a massive firepower bonus. 40%, one of the strongest day-to-day firepower bonuses in the entire game. However, Kindle has another trick up her sleeve. For you see, if any of Olaf's filthy peasants dare defile one of Kindle's beautiful cities, well, Kindle's got an answer for that with Urban Blight, dealing 3 damage to all enemy units that dare defile one of those urban terrain tiles with their filthy peasant boots. And Kindle's superpower high society is when Kindle really wants to send the peasants back to the dirt where they came from. For you see, Kindle gets a 3% firepower bonus for every urban terrain property that she owns. So right here, it would be a 9% bonus. But if Kindle gets a ton of cities, well, that bonus can be astronomical. It can be used to wall break because Kindle's going up against the Stallmeister Olaf. Olaf is unaffected by snow, but rain affects him the same as snow would for others because, for you see, Olaf grew up in the harsh winters trying to make his turnip survive year after year, all while Kindle, not a care in the world, just partying in her ivory tower. And Olaf is now asking the question, well, you like to party? How about the Bolshevik party? Because Olaf is about to overthrow Kindle and take all of her cities and give her a taste of the winters that he endured with his normal power, Blizzard. It turns the weather to snow for 1 turn, which could bog down Kindle's units, but snow itself isn't super good on this map, as you've got this super highway here running through the entirety of the map. And urban terrain and roads, excuse me, they both don't suffer any penalty while the snow is going on. But when Olaf charges his super, he busts out the Winter Fury, where all the rage of the peasants merge into the cosmos and deal 2 damage to all of Kindle's units, no matter where they are on the board, and turns the weather to snow. A very devastating superpower indeed, and Olaf just wants to keep clicking that Winter Fury button and keep giving Kindle a taste of those winters he endured. So let's get into this exciting action. I am going up against FitzChiv, who is rated around 1050, 1060, I do believe. A very, very strong player. And I learned this from a viewer, the city skip, or the base skip, I mean, with this city right here. I can get a tank out early, but my opponent knows it as well. FitzChiv is a master of theory, and we'll get that base skip as well. Because when you skip this base and get this city early, you have just enough to be able to afford a tank early, which is kind of nice, excuse me. And you can exert a lot of pressure with it, and we both will do it. Also just trying to capture as many buildings as possible. And I go and try to get this forward city, which is something I saw a good player do. And there it is. There's the early tank. I have to break the bank, but I do get the tank out early. Olaf, however, will be able to counter with his own tank. And there it is. Over here, this tank now counters this tank right here. Also, this tank can shift towards the middle and exert a lot of pressure. On this map, Vadum of Valhalla, not sure if I mentioned the map name, you kind of have 3 theaters of battle. You have this middle area, and then you have my strong side over here on the left, and Olaf's strong side over here on the right. As Olaf will have both these bases shifting over to this side, although this base can go to the middle as well. whereas only this base is the only thing that can defend this left side. Airport, it's right in the middle, pretty flexible. Can go to any of the 3 theaters, but you also can connect the theaters by busting down this pipe seam and being able to transition your army between the middle and your weak side, which is kind of nice because otherwise this tank has to go all the way around the mountains. And now mechs can be used to cross the mountains quite easily and fight over here, but what's really contested are these 3 right here and kind of this one as well. So we're trying to get those contested cities as early as possible, and that comm tower as well could be a big deal. But so far, nothing too unusual has happened. My opponent's got to be careful to not leave the HQ completely hanging. But right now it's not really a problem as I don't have any infantry in range. That is a strong side HQ, so there's really not a whole lot I can really do to threaten it, even if I did really have an infantry in range. And able to get this filthy peasant infantry off of my city. Completely unacceptable. I shift the tank from the left side to the middle and use this infantry to take that infantry out, trying to control all of the income right here, as this tank had went around the mountains, no longer protect that infantry. So as you can see, this infantry, had a hot wife at home. And Olaf's taking a page out of the King David playbook, where the infantry goes in as well as the army, but then the rest of the army pulls back without this infantry's knowledge, and the infantry is now been destroyed. Moving on, Olaf is actually doing great on the strong side over here, about to get all of these cities and grabbing this. There's really no point in me interrupting that. I think Poland would oh, I can't even sacrifice an infantry to do it. Yeah, tank's in range too, so I would take a beating on my tank should I interrupt this. So not worth it. That's pretty safely going to be a teal city right there. But I'm moving around, trying to make a play on the comm tower and the city, but Olaf's got them very well covered with this tank and these infantry, so I really can't go in over there. Olaf is doing great on the strong side, but I am going to go in on this city, bringing the tank back to the HQ, ready to put some pressure on that area. I also build another tank ready to chain, and a tank over here that could go over here to the weak side, or it could go towards the middle, but maybe building artillery to bust down this pipe seam might have been a little bit better, as it would be a lot easier to reinforce this side. And I want to keep brawling. Olaf's a Stallmeister who likes a bunch of units on the field so that Winter Fury can deal the most amount of damage, because it deals more damage the more units on the field, right? Just a simple numbers game right there. But I will be getting this city, which is nice. I am up 1 city right now, and going after some of these back captures. Gonna go after this city, and as long as I have my tank protecting, this tank won't be able to get on. But nice job by Olaf here, sitting on the comm tower with the tank. I will not be able to get the comm tower. Meanwhile, Olaf has grabbed this comm tower, so Olaf will have a firepower advantage against me as long as Olaf is not on a city. But I've got a tank on a city right here, and the tank chain. And we're about to see some fighting here as I go in on the tank, get the 5-7 engagement, and this tank backs up, ready to put some pressure on Olaf's weak side. And look at this. I'm even trying to pressure this, trying to maybe go for the HQ. That's never going to happen in a million years. I mean, it's within base range for sure. But maybe trying to swipe this, or just at least try to divert resources from Olaf so I can win on the left. Olaf is going to capture this and goes in for some infantry shots. Interrupts the cap right there. And this tank's actually not in range, so we'll not be able to get a city shot. But I don't know if a city shot will be able to, I mean, a city shot definitely be able to. I think a wood shot, I don't think we'll be able to take out that tank right there. This tank's also chaining pretty nicely. So Olaf's playing pretty well. Going to even weaken this, weakening my infantry, and going on the comm tower. Oh no, I could be down 2 comm towers to Olaf. You never want to be in this situation. And my ivory tower is not looking very stable, so we'll see what I can do here. I'm going to have the tank hit that tank down to 1 HP, and going to pick off that infantry that weakened the 4 right there. Going to weaken that infantry a little bit more as well. Going to load the infantry into the black boat, boost it up, trying to defend this middle. If I can hold on to this city, I'll be really happy, because that's basically a 2,000 income swing, right? Every turn that I have it that Olaf does it, it's 2,000 income extra. But I gotta be careful over here on the weak side. Sacrificing my 5 HP infantry for damage, stalling out that comm tower for one more turn. Bring my tank in, popping that 8 HP. Just trying to slow these captures down. But Olaf has so many tanks in the vicinity. Speaking of slowing captures down, I go in over here pretty fearless, but I'm not able to get the KO there. So Olaf will be able to keep me off of those city tiles. We'll see what Olaf can do here. Goes in for the nice shot there, 8-6. You'd love to see it. Infantry pops that infantry on the city there, not letting it heal. And another infantry on the city gets popped, allowing this infantry to capture. Another infantry has defiled my beautiful city. And a T-copter build by both of us to go after these islands, which have a comm tower and a port. You definitely want to go after them. Alternatively, you could build a black boat out of here, out of this port to go over here. Use it as like a last-ditch repair unit over here and transport infantry up here. But I think the T-copter is just objectively better, as it's not confined to the ocean over here, and also it is like 33% cheaper. So T-copter build, definitely the way to go, as much as a big fan of black boats I am. And going to finish off that infantry. That 5 HP had no chance going from his city. Picking off that 1 HP tank. Cannot let Olaf heal these tanks. And that tank was actually not covered by anything. This tank, though, actually does not have the movement to hit this 6 HP tank. So I'm able to take out that tank off the city. And now going in on the comm tower, taking them both out, which allows a nice city shot from the tank, knocking that tank down to 4 HP. I was happy about that. And bringing up a mech as well. Infantry over here, but I'm going to take a beating back here. Olaf just has too many units. Blizzard online, but Olaf's not going to use that Olaf saving for the Winter Fury, and that is going to absolutely devastating. Sacrificing the 4 HP for damage, stalling this city one more turn, because I cannot let Olaf capture any cities, and going to go in and take out the tank on the comm tower, and infantry gets taken out, and not capturing, but taking a shot on my infantry as my units over here are dwindling. Now, going to have this guy probably load himself into the black boat next, or the T-copter next turn, to go ahead and get the island. And I'm kind of doing something similar over here, but now look at this. Olaf, all this infantry are cleared away, and now Olaf goes in for this city right here. I built this anti-air preemptively to get to attack any coppers that Olaf might build, but right now Olaf is guffawing here from his HQ because he does not have any copters, so this anti-air is just basically a glorified infantry killer right now. And it is a very sad day for that anti-air. Oh, but there's the copter. Okay, the anti-air gets now has a target, but I still got to be careful. Urban Blight is ready, and going after the island there. I'm getting ready to make a play on this comm tower. I'm down 1 comm tower to Olaf. Never a position you want to see. But I activate the Urban Blight and stop all of these filthy captures right here. Infantry goes down to 7, so it interrupts that for one more turn, and this infantry goes down to 6, but I'm not going to need... I am going to need to destroy this infantry entirely in order to interrupt this, as the city only has 1 capture point left. And now goes in. I'm taking a city shot there on that infantry, weakening it down. That mountain, though, proving valuable for Olaf. As if this wasn't a mountain, that might have been a one-shot. If this was like a road with that 40% extra defense. I used the anti-air to take out the infantry and use the tank to knock that infantry down to 1 HP, stalling out these captures. Move the tank onto the HQ, where it can have that nice terrain defense and city bonus. And I actually back off over here. I'm like, all right, Olaf, I'm not going to defend this anymore. I'm going to win this comm tower, and Olaf's going to win this, so I'm going to be down 2 comm towers. So we'll see if I can even hold on here as I try to occupy the urban terrain. Winter Fury, though, close to being online. And combine some infantry down here to get healed. Mech moves forward. And the tanks will surround the comm tower, and Olaf will get... Actually, I could interrupt it with this 4. I think that would do 1 damage, allowing me to stall the comp tower for 1 more turn. But Olaf gets a nice shot on the anti-air, knocking down to 3 HP. So this copter's pretty free. I did build another anti-air to cover the left side. So actually anticipated well for once. That's where the copter's going. So my anti-air's job over here is clear. Go over here to the left side and counter this. But the copter could just easily shift back over, and it flies over the mountains like they were nothing. Alright, I will be getting this city though. So I got that going for me, which is nice. I'm up 3 cities right now. Clear that infantry and clear that infantry, trying to stall out Olaf just a bit longer. And I back off, getting ready for that Winter Fury, putting everything on cities to get healed. As the Winter Fury damage will get healed by the repairs, but it will come out of my bank. So I will be starving for money for 1 turn. And I do actually give up a nice city shot here from Olaf. And I don't have Urban Blight, so that's a pretty good shot for Olaf to take. And I messed up over here on the left. I moved this infantry before I moved the copter. Oh, no, wait, I did this. Okay. I think there was another turn where I messed up my copter movement over here, but I'm not sure about that. And I build an artillery. Because I was like, okay, you see medium tanks, neo tanks on this map. I'm gonna need this artillery, and if I can go down here, like, you know, I can't really push super hard yet into this area. With the artillery, I might be able to push a little bit more. I could break the pipe seam if I win both the middle and this area and put a lot of pressure on that base, which is gonna be super weak. But I figured artillery, and also I had just enough to afford it, so I'm trying to make the most of my cash here before winter hits. And yeah, Olaf is going to get some interrupts there. All these tanks go in, and my mech gets cleared out. I do have a copter and a tank in range, though. Anti-air covers this tank. And it might actually cover this city square as well, so I gotta be careful. And, okay, so tank does not interrupt the comp tower. Instead of interrupting the comp tower, it picks off the 7 HP tank. So fair enough. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad move, as Olaf wants to have that 20% extra attack for as long as possible. But what good is extra attack if all your units get destroyed? If it went for the comp tower interrupt, it definitely would have been picked off by this tank and this tank right here. So, and Olaf's got some reinforcements to back off. Mech would not be able to cover a comp tower interruption square, at least. So Olaf's just trying to take out. I do get a couple more properties here. Get the comp tower. So I'm actually up 1 comp tower, but this is, I think, 2 turns away. And I understand why Kindle's pretty annoying, because this infantry, it didn't do anything wrong, and yet it's still getting blasted by Urban Blight and slowing down those captures. And I'm able to take out that tank, allowing me to get a city shot. But I will not be able to take out this 3 HP tank or do anything. Anti-air, though, not close enough to hit the copter. Take out that tank on the left side. Move the anti-air up, far away from the mech, far away from the tank. So it's kind of blocking this infantry. And do I go in on this city right here? Only one way to find out. Okay, I actually moved the infantry away. I decided the city was not worth going for when the mech is right there to interrupt. The tank is right there, and the copter. So I just retreat. And I'm still up 2 cities on Olaf. But Olaf did snag this one, and will probably have this guy go and grab that one. And this 4 HP sacrifices for damage, slowing a capture down with that 7 HP infantry. As this city will be delayed for 1 more turn. Trying to get my income, and Olaf is so close to that Winter Fury. Just needs 600 charge to get it. And Olaf does not shoot anything. And does not get the Winter Fury. Which, honestly, this baffled me. You could sacrifice this 3 HP tank, get Winter Fury. This tank comes in. That thing's probably dead. At 8 HP on a plains with super active, that tank's probably gone. This copter only can move 3. 1, 2, 3. Cannot actually cover this square. This copter could, though, but then the anti-air is trading it out. This tank, I think, could move over here. Probably not if it's snowing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if it's snowing and I had access to this square, tank could go here. But I think, like, through the road in the city, could still cover the, wait, I don't think it could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's a plane that gets slowed down. I'm not sure about the snow because I looked it up and can't remember. But it would really hinder me. And I think Olaf just didn't really want to go in. But I think Olaf could have definitely sacrificed his 3, got the charge. This tank goes in, KOs that thing. But Olaf really didn't have the units, but with the snow slowing me down and the reinforcements coming in, I think Olaf could have gone in, but decides not to shoot at anything. Okay. So my job right now, to overcharge Olaf as much as possible, to get Urban Blight, and try to have, try to get that one more power off for that super. So I think Olaf not going in with the Winter Fury, a bit of an inaccuracy there, as they were able to pick off that infantry, pick off the mech with the anti-air. Yeah, this copter's going to be annoying, but I figure I have this other anti-air that could chase it around. But it needs to get healed up a little bit first. Go in for the tank, almost have Urban Blight, just need 2,000 more. And able to take out the tank, guaranteed with the 2 comm towers. And now I activate Urban Blight. And Urban Blight also doubles that city bonus, so it's 80% extra attack, and I go after that anti-air because I wanted this copter to go over here and get the tank shot. So knocking them both down to 1 HP. With this anti-air, we'll be able to reinforce, and these copters with the snow can only move 3 HP. So, I mean, they get free shots now, but when the snow hits, they won't be able to move far enough away from this anti-air. I'd have to block for it really, really well. Gonna weaken some more infantry. Gonna take that filthy infantry out, capping that city. It's guaranteed with the Urban Blight damage already. And then artillery over here. Probably could have put it in a place to break the pipe seam, but I figured at this point I don't really have enough pressure on the space to make breaking the pipe seam worth it. I just wanted to protect these anti-air and this infantry right here. I'd even do some blocking with the T-copter. But winter is coming, and Olaf pops the power of Ned Stark, and winter has now blanketed the battlefield, and I take a ton of damage. I was almost at 120k, all the way down to 92.5k unit value. Still doing good on unit value, but if Olaf deals a lot of damage, Olaf could easily even out the game. Also, this city's not really anything I can do about that. This poor infantry, though, is getting hit, and we'll capture this. Nothing I can really do about that. Goes in, should have capped the comm tower first, but it wouldn't have made that much of a difference, as that copter would still have survived. Going in, there's the comm tower cap. That allows this copter to go in, takes out the infantry there. This tank goes on the city and gets a nice shot on that tank down to 2 HP, and these 2 infantry units able to pick off that tank. Gets a nice little interrupt there, uses a nice mountain terrain there. Good shot. Another shot on the infantry right there. Tank moves around, ready to reinforce. T-copter's ready to pick up this guy once he's done capturing that port. Which the Urban Blight's really slowing down the island captures, although this port got slowed down as well with the Winter Fury. And there's another copter coming in for Olaf, and now Olaf is only down 10k. Brought the match pretty even. I'm still up 2 cities, but Olaf's getting this, Olaf's getting that, and there's really, I guess I could use, no, I have no movement. I can't go anywhere. Look at these movement ranges. Can't do a thing. So I just got to go back, able to use the super highway to take a shot at that tank, and that 5 HP finishes. No, it can't finish it off. The anti-air has to get the job done. Artillery moves back, protecting the city capture here. And I take a shot here. Nice city bonus there, knocking that infantry down to 4. But Olaf is about to even the captures as I build an anti-air over here to deal with this copter harassing my infantry in the middle. and going to take out the anti-air, and the copter takes out the infantry. Able to get a nice city shot on that infantry as well, so I'm losing all 3 of these units next turn. Well, maybe not this 4, but like, what's it gonna do? But I'm trying to slow down Olaf's capture game. Trying to keep the cities equalized after these 2 go through. And I'll have this one too, but... and I'm getting this one. I don't think Olaf really can break through this, although tank can hit the anti-air pretty nicely. But I don't think it can take out... I don't think a 9 HP tank could take out an 8 HP anti-air on the road here. Well, okay, if it's a high roll and it's chipped, so could sacrifice some infantry to guarantee it. But it... I don't think... I think this anti-air is sitting at 80, because I don't think anything, like, got any counterattack damage. I think it's just Winter Fury damage, so... If this tank's at 80, or if this anti-air's at 80, maybe sacrifice this guy for damage. Then the 9 HP could attack it, but then the 9 HP gets traded off by the artillery, and Olaf has no counterplay. So probably not a good idea for Olaf to go in over there. But Olaf can go in where Olaf has all the vehicles, and that is the strong side. As my tanks and copters start disappearing off the map, even loading this infantry into the T-copter to exert even more pressure, and... takes out the infantry and the T-copter, which I was kind of confused why Olaf attacked the T-copter, but it's because it is not protected by the artillery. So fair enough, I guess. Although that tank is going to get hit by something. Even this tank though covers, so that tank is going to get hit. There's no snow coming in, so that movement range is not going to be a problem. Copter runs away from the anti-air. But is going to shift over here, making this anti-air have to go all the way around, and then the copter can just go na boo boo, and then shift back over and pressure the middle. This copter also shifting to a very flexible position there, so nicely done. Mech coming out as the mechs, even though with the slow movement, they'll get to the front line so fast by just hopping over the mountains. Like the goblins they are, and I retreat. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with never getting this comm tower ever again. This is Olaf's comm tower. There's nothing I could do. I'm just going to try and hold on to this city as long as possible, and perhaps onto this city as well, as I have gotten these 2 cities right here. And I'm going to make a play for this city as well. I just got to pick off some of the Olaf's units and going in on the tank, able to pick it off, starting the cap over here with the 6. And going to build a nice infantry wall over here, trying to protect the middle as much as possible. I'm up 2 cities right now. Takes out that 4 HP infantry and join caps here, but it's still going to be 2 turns before that city falls. I leave this tank on this city, which is not always something you want to do against Olaf. Olaf likes when there's a ton of units on the board, because that Winter Fury does more damage, right? It's 2 constant HP to every unit, whether they have 1 unit or 50 units. So maybe I could have combined this 4 HP tank, but I figured every other tank had more important things to do. So I'm leaving the 4 HP tank on another city to get healed up. Same with this anti-air, as I wanted to make sure it can I think a 9 HP anti-air can still one-shot copters. So I bring it back to the HQ. Also, I got to cover the middle, as this anti-air has moved away. So I just got to make sure I have every theater of battle covered. And also, I had saved a bit of money during the Winter Fury turn. So I was able to get a lot of good builds in, building a mech as well. I'm just trying to defend this. This is probably going to go through, and there's really not a whole lot I can do about it without sacrificing some units. So we'll see if I'm able to do that. Olaf is going to start these 2 cities, though. Urban Blight's coming in, and we'll be able to interrupt those. And this infantry, though, even if it goes down to 4, we'll be able to get that city, as that city's got 2 capture points left, which will equalize things a little bit. And moving up, very strong position here from Olaf. I've got a lot of units in reserve, but it'll take a while for them to get there. Anti-air comes closer. It can help out the middle. It can help out the right side. And an artillery from Olaf. Olaf might be going for the pipe seam play, or Olaf could just be trying to put pressure over here with the artillery, sort of like how I was doing over here. But Olaf just backs off here on the weak side. I don't have enough infantry to capture things, and Olaf is like, alright, We can trade this city, and we can trade this city. But we'll see what is going to happen here, as I'm, let's see, about 8,000 away from an urban blight. And right there, that copter was just completely hanging. So I was able to get a lot of charge with that, and use that anti-air. So just an unfortunate mistake by Olaf right there. Able to pick off that 3 HP tank. I put this anti-air on this city, so it locks down the airport. I was like, why did I do that? And it's like, oh, that airport's right there. Duh. I'm locking down the airport at least for a turn. But if Winter Fury comes in, which it's not going to this turn, then I don't think a 6 could one-shot a copter. But right now I got the airport lock. Mech's not going to be able to trade that out. A tank, though, could shift over here to the left and put pressure on that position. So I'm even going in. I used it with the copter. I have just enough for Urban Blight, weakening these two, weakening all these units on cities, which I was really happy about. Now Anti is able to take that out, get a city shot, taking out the tank. Copter moves in, and Olaf resigns during my turn as we play these last couple turns live, pretty much. And I did very good on the KD. But FitzChiv, Olaf, a very, very strong player. I think where Olaf really went wrong was that not popping the Winter Fury on that one where Olaf had 95% charge. Could have sacked the unit, taken a bad trade, and then got Winter Fury, and then suddenly everything is a good trade. As it would have slowed my army down right then, and would not allow me to have gotten off that Urban Blight, or at least 2 Urban Blights before Olaf gets off 1 super. And clicking the power button, you want to do that as much as possible. But yeah, what a thrilling game. And I mean, as far as what I did, I kind of let Olaf steamroll me over here on the weak side, where maybe a tank could have been an artillery to break this pipe scene down before Olaf really got going. And I also let Olaf snag both comm towers for an extended period of time and snag some of these corner cities, so I just got to be a little bit better positioning. But yeah, what a game, and I'll see you in the next one.